In this video, I'm going to teach you how to install a tub and shower trim. All right, the first thing I like to do is make sure I open up the box, make sure all the parts are there. I got all my tools ready to go, so I'm not searching for things. And then I like to work on the valve body itself first. After I've made sure I have all my parts and tools, I'm going to take off the valve template, unscrew that, pop it off, and then I'm going to take this chrome sleeve, slide it onto the valve body. All right, so all the tools you're going to need for this, I will put in the link in the description below. You can pick up any of that stuff on Amazon. We will have hyperlinks for that for you to get. We do get affiliates for that. Help us out as much as you can. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to take my valve trim and my 2 screws. I'm going to slide my valve trim over that chrome sleeve and screw the trim to the wall. When you're screwing this in, just do 1 screw at a time, back and forth, and make sure it's snug, especially if you're doing it into a fiberglass shower, or even if you're doing it on tile. You don't want to go over tight because you can actually strip the valve body in the back and wreck things. So just make sure it's snug. If you have a fiberglass, push on the fiberglass and make sure there isn't too much of a gap, easily moving back and forth. Just make sure it's nice and snug. All right, next thing we are going to put in are these 2 little white pieces. These are gonna slide right into that little chrome piece onto the valve stem itself. What this is for is to be able to adjust the temperature to whatever you want to set it to. We're gonna just in this case set it to the hottest portion, but you can adjust it if you need to reduce the temperature and test it after. After you've installed those 2 white pieces, you take the black one and you slide it over top of that with the screw and tighten that screw down. That black piece is where the handle's gonna slide over to. You make sure that piece is tight, give it a couple wiggles, make sure it's not loose inside the valve stem itself there. Once you've gotten that snug and tightened up, we're gonna now take the handle with the set screw, slide the handle over top of that black piece and just tighten the handle up with the set screw. The Allen key for this is a 7/64. Now that I've got the handle tightened up, I'm just gonna make sure everything moves nice and smooth. Turn it on, turn it off, handle's nice and snug. We're good to go. All right, now we are going to work on the tub spout. I like to use just the thickness of my auto cutters. These auto cutters, if you don't have them, I will leave a link in the description below. You can pick them up, but any kind of mini copper cutters will work, but I like to use these auto cuts because they're nice and easy. I now mark it with the width of my auto cutters. I cut the copper, take that piece out. I grab some silicone. I like to silicone in between the copper and the hole that's in there, just so if any water does seep in behind, it can't go in behind the tub itself. And then I just take my tub spout, I slide it over that copper, and I take my Allen key that was provided with the kit itself, and I tighten it and make sure everything is level and snug and square and good to go. All right, now that the tub spout and the valve trim are done, we got one more thing left to do, and that is the shower head itself. In this case, it's a new build, so we're gonna unscrew the nipple coming out of the wall, grab my channel locks, unscrew the nipple, and now I'm gonna prep my shower head. So the first thing I like to do is take my shower arm and put my Teflon on there, and then I put some dope on the thread going into the wall. I tape and dope, and then I will slide my escutcheon onto the shower arm, and then I'm gonna tape the part that the head's gonna screw onto. I don't like to use dope here. You can, it doesn't really make a huge difference. There's not a lot of pressure on there. It's just to help make that seal. And when I wrap my Teflon on these, I wrap it just a little bit further so I can rip it off after nice and easily, and you'll see that in a second here. Now that I've got all the Teflon on the shower arm, I'm gonna pop up onto the tub here and put this shower head into the wall. So when I'm screwing it in, I have my escutcheon pulled off a little bit so it's not scraping against the tile or anything and making a mark. I screw it in. I like to use, sometimes you can just do it by hand, but if you can't do it, you can use a screwdriver to help guide it. Just be careful with some chrome. Sometimes they're plastic and you can actually bend it and wreck it. So just try to do it with your hand and the screwdriver to help guide you at the same time. Make sure that the shower arm coming down is as square and good as possible, and then just take your shower head, screw it onto the arm, use a crescent wrench, snug it up. Doesn't need to be super, super tight. Again, just make it snug. If it leaks, you can tighten it up later. I now take my Teflon I have my little tailpiece on there. I unravel it, and now it makes a nice clean look. I don't see any Teflon. I just have nice chrome threads, and that's it. All right, that is as simple as it gets when it comes to installing things. The tub and shower valve is quite simple. I can't test this for you because the tub, this is a new construction house. It is filthy. If I turn the water on right now, it's gonna be just caked in mud kind of thing. So they gotta do a good clean before we can do a proper test. But when you turn it on, It's as simple as just turning it on. Take the escutcheon back, just try to get a light in there and look in to see if the threads are leaking. That's gonna be the biggest part that you wanna make sure isn't leaking. And just check the tub spout, make sure there's no visible leaks anywhere happening. Generally, a tub and shower, you're pretty good and pretty safe, but just turn it on, test for hot and cold, and you're good to go. All right, this was a Moen shower valve. We do have a specific video for a Delta. If you wanna check that out, you can check this video. I'll put a link up right here. That is it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.